For some reason, Crank has got the score set to 4-0. Oh, he fixed it. Bottom right-hand side, then our blue Terran player here. This is TY, and to the top left, our red Protoss is Dia, who again just sends that probe across the map so early in the game. He wants that information as to where the barracks is being built, and he likes to be annoying with it. Probe arrives, and there's a huge amount of time here where you have to fight against that probe. So frustrating, because this one probe goes to scout, and you know, you're almost always getting the value from it because an SCV has to pull off the line to fight against it. So it's almost like it doesn't really even cost you that much a scout. Look at this entire SCV just has to not mine while this probe comes around because it's just that frustrating to deal with. So again, all of this time, this is just re-scouting for DA. Obviously, he had to run across the map and he lost mining time, and then he had to run back. But yeah, it really is very frustrating thing for a Terran player. And you can just see this being a bit of a nuisance to deal with at the moment here. And as you see, SCVs going down the low ground, getting ready to probably try and place a command center in the next few moments. Any second now. Command center, command center, command center. There we have it. So command center gets placed. DY beginning his expansion here. Getting this set and ready to go. Reaper is on the way out. And we do see again the Nexus also just coming up on the natural. Marine being built here as well. As we do see the Adept just on the way. It's a nice non-aggressive opening though for the TvP. I like it. Not seeing a CC delayed and everything for once. Again, the Marines early. Terran players kind of making sure they have enough units to defend if units do come across the map nowadays. And as you do see, this Reaper going to back away. And the probe coming down. Stargate on the way up here, so yeah, just going in towards a pretty regular sort of setup to just get things going. Is there no VPN I can hop on? I mean, not really. I mean, honestly, it's like... I mean, this is not something that's just shown up today. This is an issue we've had for a while that we can't fix. I've tried absolutely everything. The issue with VPNs is either it doesn't fix it, or if it does, the connection then isn't good enough to stream to Twitch. So it's it just doesn't help at all. Reaper is going to be continuing towards the upper left side. He's going to go down here as he just gets a full scout. Sees it is an Oracle currently in production. And well, Barracks is going to lift up and drop down a reactor here on the left as well. So reactor on the way up, a few Marines coming over, and a couple of these SCVs transferring down to the low ground now, as we do have the setup continuing to go. Streaming the stream so meta, yeah, just it's just a restream. It's not that weird. People used to restream things all the time. A couple of Adepts in the Oracle then coming forwards, although they will cancel their shade. Just not going to commit in just yet. Another SCV coming in behind on the back there. Locks onto that Oracle, and again, good pushback on the Oracle. Really denied from doing any damage. However, now the Adepts show up, and there is only a few Marines here. Cyclones on the high ground. And I think that's what Crank was trying to do, to point out, you know, where was that Cyclone? Well, he is going to kill one Adept as the Cyclone comes down and gets locked on. Adepts will try and shade again, but another lock-on available, so he will stay locked on to the right Adept, and he will be able to get that kill. So 2 Adepts killed, actually. They didn't deal much damage. The Oracle was just nowhere to be seen. Not sure where the Oracle got to. Not sure why it didn't loop it back around for the main base or anything. Just got pushed away and decided to kind of continue pushing away, so there you go. Third CC is dropping down now in the main base as well. Raven in the production tab. And again, we do see that Phoenix currently just on the way up, so Phoenix coming in. And a third Nexus is about to complete. A couple of SCVs repairing up a Cyclone. And yeah, just hasn't really seen much just yet. Not really much to see. I guess the third CC would be nice to know about. Know just how fast things are happening as we see the CC is seen there. Nice revelation, keeps track of the units as well. Starport has once again built a Raven. I say once again, we haven't seen TY actually play TvP today, but he did build a Raven against Rogue, and we saw a special build in the Raven against Dia, so Ravens are just super popular today. Oracle's just chilling around, going to try and dive for the Cyclones. Oh, can he get a kill? He will get one of the Oracles. So Cyclone for one Oracle. I mean, the Cyclone at this stage of the game, it's getting to that point where the Cyclone... We had this discussion the other day. Is a Cyclone worth killing an Oracle? You know, is it worth losing a Cyclone to kill an Oracle? And I think the conclusion we came to was yes, it is. Because at the end of the day, a Cyclone does not transition well into the later stages of the game. Like, the Cyclone's kind of usefulness in this game is starting to die out now. So by losing an Oracle, Cyclone to kill an Oracle, what you have done is you've really shut down some of the potential vision and damage from a Protoss play, because Oracles will still be good in fights. A Cyclone just really doesn't do that much in a large fight, whereas Oracles, the fact they can Revelate, they can Stasis Ward, you can get so much value out of those. So I think it's almost... I would say it's almost always worth losing a Cyclone to kill an Oracle, unless it's like a very early game scenario. In which case it's obviously very different, because then you want to keep as many units alive as you can to help deal with further attacks and so on. As he sees that Stasis Ward, good use of the Raven. Can we get game sound? No. We didn't get into the game because we have to restream because my Korean server is having issues. I believe, if you let me just check this for a quick second, guys. No, we've disconnected again. Haven't we? Yeah, we just keep disconnecting. Like, I just can't do anything about it, guys. I just can't do anything about it at all. The Korean server just doesn't want to work. Like, there's literally just nothing I can do. Anyways, TY pushing forwards, looking to get quite aggressive. As Zelt goes down, a stim forwards, gets a Phoenix. The Cyclone dropped onto the low ground. Kind of low on HP here, as we see the attempt to come forwards. Water turret's coming down from that Raven now. Actually locks onto an Oracle, and another Oracle going down. I love this position on Kairos, by the way, with a couple of tanks behind the rocks. It's just so fantastic. As here he goes, Zelt come charging in. Tank fire is very good so far, as we still see TY just continue to just pull back kind of way. Widowmine is going to be big on the Zealots as well. Another stim, and honestly these Zealots are not going to last very long. The High Templar are pushed away, zoned out by siege tanks. The one storm comes down. Is that enough to turn this around? Because again, it's not been a pretty fight so far from Deer. I just don't think it is going to be enough. Tank gets dropped back down into place, and TY picks up game. Usually can work, but I think Belair's having the exact same issue. Get out the game! Leave! Ay, ay, ay. Aye. Out, please. What is Blizzard's response on this? That they're trying to figure out what it is that's causing it. But yeah, obviously it puts us in a situation where we just can't reliably run Korean content. Like, I can't put hundreds of dollars into a Korean server tournament if I can't cast on the Korean server, right? Like, obviously that just doesn't make sense. So I just can't. I just can't do it. Like, there's just no way about it. So it's a really shitty situation because we have to. You just have to kind of deal with it as well. Like, there's no good way about it. There's absolutely no good way about it. Bottom left is TY, top right is Deer in this series. In fairness to Blizzard, they do talk to us about it, and they have told us. They brought it up at the summit. They talked to us about it before the summit. They are trying to figure out what the issue is. It's just not an easily found issue. Like, it started happening a long time ago, so it just keeps getting worse. They don't really have an answer. Anyways, game number 2. TY and Deer hanging out at the moment. It's going to be seeing that Nexus dropping down, an SCV coming across, but also an SCV to the low ground to build the CC. So SCV just looking to see the Nexus timing. It was Cybernetics Core before Nexus, and I wonder if that's all TY wants to see with this SCV. Nexus is obviously just coming along here quite nicely for the moment, and we are going to be seeing it pop in towards the natural, and yeah, I was kind of thinking about maybe jumping up in towards the main base as well. Reaper of TY on its way across the map, and right out into the center, SCV pushing through towards the bottom left hand side, and again just going to be seeing that Adept popping out, Sentry now being chrono boosted as well. And we do have the Reaper is going to hop up into the main base here, and then hop back down to again just try and see what's going on. Twilight Council is building up in the main base. Again, the Twilight Council going. Factory's still about to finish building. Command Center finishing up as well now. So the structures are ready back at home. Straight into the tech lab on the factory, by the way, as well. So looking to get into that instantly with a starport coming too. And again, maybe just that similar setup as Viking and a Cyclone into Raven and Siege tanks. I wouldn't be surprised to see him going into a similar, going for a similar build again would be cool. I mean, the last build worked very well last time. There's no Kairos Junction though, so it doesn't have quite the same kind of rocks and ledges to kind of abuse with his tank positioning, so that's something to also keep in mind, remember. Because that can have quite an effect. This nation just hanging out overhead. And Raven on its way out. Nothing too crazy then, guys. Nothing too crazy as we just see the robot facility and Blink coming in here from D. Yeah, the one thing that Crank doesn't do that really triggers me. This is not just a Crank thing. This is like some people do it and it doesn't bother them, but it really bothers me when the player is in the top on the map. So like D is in the top right and TY is in the bottom left. Not swapping the scoreboard around so that Dia goes to the top right. So that Dia, like, because Dia's in the top right, he should be on the top of the scoreboard, and the production tab should be on top. It really, like, it actually really gets to me. Roddy as well. This happened at WSG, and we had a real fight with the WSG production because they were like, well, Roddy and Roddy, we can't just swap where they are because you know we're making the overlay based on the players when they go in game, and we were like, well, why don't you just wait like 20 seconds and then make the overlay? And they were like, well, that's just impossible. And we were like, well, it's just like, it affects our casting if it's not the right way around, because it is just such a something that we're just so used to being like we're used to seeing done. So yeah, kind of it's kind of like such a weird thing, but like it actually has such a mental effect because we do think about it a lot, and you do kind of start to take notice of it more when you don't you know, when it isn't the right way around. It's not so bad when the players are red versus blue, I guess, and they're different races, but especially if the players are of the same race, I actually get very confused if the production tabs and stuff aren't the right way around. Starport flying around in the main base, looking to come back towards this reactor in a moment, so he can jump onto that. Get a couple of medevacs on the way. Factory will go and make its own add-on once again. And using the factory as a little bit of an add-on whore is meaning that he's only got a couple of tanks, but this time the third CC down nice and quick as well. There's not looking to be a similar sort of push to last game. I mean, the potential is there. I'd just be surprised if he does commit to it. I guess he'll have stim in combat. Maybe he can do something here, as we do have the units coming down the low ground and getting ready to press across to the far right hand side. Cycle starts by locking onto a stalker. I wonder if he just wants to push out to the third base, so that might be a pretty reasonable thing to do as well. Nice save on the Cyclone. Good pull back by TY. Pulled it back almost instantly and was just about able to keep it alive. The Stalkers don't want to dive too far in, of course, because then they do start to fall into some trouble. As we have the Bio able to push the Stalkers back through the south side of the map. Tanks here should be enough to push those Stalkers away as well. I mean, the Stalkers like, yep, we can't really do anything here. We're just gonna take our leave and blink on away. Another couple of mules dropping down, another couple of Vikings actually popping out, and this army of TY starting to press across the map. So we've seen the couple of Zealots already picked off. This is a big stim already. There isn't tons of medevacs here, so you have to be kind of careful with your stims that you do use. Drops the anti-armor missile just before the Stalkers get the Raven kill. That's kind of a huge deal though, actually, because the Stalkers do die, which means there isn't even much protection for these couple of Vikings that are about to kill a Colossus. Tank siege from a bit of a distance. TY spreads out again. Only 2 medevacs, and he started Viking production so he could start pushing into this. While he has a 3rd CC, he never went beyond the 45 SCVs, so only being on 45 SCVs, he is actually very reliant on this attack getting something done. A little bit of Bio pulling ahead. He never killed that Colossus that he got so low, which is a bit of a shame, but just playing it slow. Didn't want to lose the couple of Vikings he has. He's working with such a low Viking count that he needs any that he can get. As you're going to see, those tanks probably need to try and target fire the Colossus too. TY has so much to do here though, because he has to pull back against the Zealots, and Dia will push him away for the moment. So Dia pushing him back. TY is actually having to keep on running. These Zealots are charging forwards. TY turns to fight, pushing those Zealots back a little bit. And we do see the +2 attack and the +2 armor now on the way up here. And that's going to be a huge upgrade lead from Dia, because TY is still only on +1 attack, and he's only just going into +1 armor now. He's going to be 2-2 against 1-1 Dia, and that is going to be monumental. TY is starting to run out of time to get things done, and Dia's fallen into a huge comfort zone here. He's going to have that Warp Prism on the map, so you can actually harass and attack TY. He's going to have the Colossus up with good upgrades. He's going to have 3 bases very comfortably. I mean, he's probably going to go towards a 4th base, and he should be fairly comfortable with that as well, because he just has such a good position to play from at the moment. So, great game for Dia. I love the switch up of tech as well. Not only does he add the Temple Archives on to begin going into Storm as an extra splash damage, also just says, well, you know what, I've got this robot facility, let's add a Disruptor or 2. If you can control them in a fight, it forces so much from the Terran player. The Terran player has to pull back, lose attack time, because they're trying to avoid the Disruptor shot. If they don't, they can lose tons of units. It can kind of force a, disengage from a fight very nicely, because it can stop units chasing forwards into you. There are so many opportunities. Archon is on the way up and on the 3rd base. Some extra Ghosts and Vikings still on the way out as well. So TY is tacking up. I'm excited because Dia playing well in this game means we might get a 3rd game, which didn't happen at all yesterday. And if it happens today, that would be that'd be really nice. I would take it. Put it that way. I would take it. I'd be a big fan. Ooh, TY's just going to pull the boys. Okay. Well, here we go. The SCVs are coming. 1-1 versus 2-2. Disruptors again are going to buy that time. I mean, the Viking count's a little bit better now, so definitely has a good chance to get rid of some Colossus. Here come the Zealots and the War Prisms, so this really is kind of a one opportunity army from TY, because he's going to lose everything else back at home after this. There you go. He built that Ghost Academy. He does have a couple of Ghosts here. There's the first couple of Disruptors. They do okay. Not too much, though. They kind of fight very preemptively, I would say. Big EMPs on top of the army. The Vikings getting rid of a lot of the Colossus. And Zabayo has to kite away. The Vikings will get rid of all the Colossus here. And then if he can land, TY is going to type out GG. Between TY and Dia. After this, we should hopefully be able to get back in game. My Korean server seems to have stabilized. Touch wood. Fingers crossed it didn't just jinx it. But seeming to have stabilized is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully that means we can get back in game. The only reason we're not in this game is because we're kind of casting a stream on delay. So the stream is already on delay, right? So by the time we get out of game, they're already in the next one. So hopefully between series, that should be less of an issue, and we should be able to actually get back in game with game sounds and all of those wonderful things. Again, fingers crossed the Korean server still holds out. But the last time I checked a moment ago, we're still online. We're still online. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Alright, though. Let's cast up this TvP, as this time Dia is going to throw down the proxy pylon, and that is very often nowadays for the fast second gateway. So fast second gate coming down at the moment. Again, that's set up and ready to go. Whoops, WardiBot, no, don't go there. Come over here. Thank you, WardiBot. You're just in slightly the wrong place there, weren't you? I just want to add just thought about something that I want to change on WardiBot quickly. While this 2-gate comes up. No, WardiBot, don't make things over there. God damn it, WardiBot. Alright. Perfect. Okay, cool. Sorry, I just wanted to set something up on WardiBot for the future. Anyways, we're going to be seeing the the replay pack command wrong as well. God damn it, I'm useless today. There you go. Boom! Alright, sorry. Editing commands and stuff as we see this double gateway coming in. The pylon to the right side as well is very interesting. This should just be an instant cancel on the CC. There's no intention from the pros player to expand super quickly here. So cancelling the command center is very quickly just the correct decision, I think. The faster you cancel it, the faster you can start building it up back at in the main base. Which obviously goes a huge way to helping out. And as you see the CC getting cancelled there, Reaper is having a little bit of a fight on the Zealot and the Stalker. SCV goes down trying to build up the bunker, so Deer applying a lot of pressure. 2 workers killed so far. There's that Stargate now coming down as well from that proxy pylon over on the right hand side. So yeah, just going to be seeing the Reaper actually gets taken down, but the bunker does finish, and that's going to be huge for being able to hold this position, and that will stop any further damage being done by Deer at the front. Deer will begin to expand. Of course, TY's expansion should come up in the main. He doesn't build it yet, though. Instead, he has that starport coming through, so going to try and play from a little bit of a deficit here. Zawoy's coming in with the fresh subscription. Thank you so much. How you doing? Welcome to the Wardy family. Good to have you. Thanks for supporting the stream. Do appreciate it. Got some love and hype in the chat for a new subscriber, guys. Thank you so much, Zawoy. I don't know if I meant to say your name in any sort of special or different way than I am, because I get the feeling I'm definitely not doing it correctly. Crank decides to go and view the corner of the map there for a moment. It's okay, Crank. I do that as well sometimes. It's it happens. It happens. Now you see our Terran player just hanging around in the main base here. TY just sitting around to see what's up. Oracle coming in, starting to nibble away at a couple of these SCVs. Marines are pretty nearby though, so they're pushing it away. Still 2 workers going down. TY is still on 1 base against what is now a 2-base Protoss player. So TY is actually hiding his Banshee in the back corner there. Doesn't want to bring it out across the map just yet. There is not really very good detection. The only detection is an Oracle. So if you can stop the Banshee from being seen maybe and go across the map. Wait, did he cancel the cloak? He cancelled a cloak. Did the Oracle see the cloak? Maybe. So he just cancels cloak to get as much money as he can. He comes down the ramp to fight. He will kill a good few of these Stalkers. I mean, lost a few Marines as well, so coming in on a couple of different sides. We are going to be seeing that Banshee is about to finish up as well, and well, we'll get over to deny that gateway, but this push has to do some real damage because TY is more or less all in with this. He is double the army supply, but we have seen Protoss players make holds like this before. Stalker's coming through. Blink not done yet. If TY wants to go, the sooner the better. Unless he... I mean, there's no way he's thinking about... What is Dia doing? He doesn't... He's seen there's no expansion. I think that's what Crank's pointing out. Like, he's seen there's no expansion. Why on earth are you taking a 3rd base? That is the most nonsensical thing I've ever heard of. Or seen. Well, okay, here we go. Banshee's taking a little bit of damage there. Stalker's poking around. Cyclone locks on. Does have high ground vision still, so Cyclone stays locked on. Loses the Cyclone now. Dia continuing to kite away here. Gets another SCV. Still 1 or 2 in this army. There's actually 3 in the army still. As we're just going to be seeing the Army continues moving towards the upper left-hand side. A couple of Stalkers just going to be hanging around as well. Banshee's just going to be picking their way through this again. That tank probably wants to get sieged up in the next few moments. The Banshee getting kind of low. The Marines are dealing a lot of damage to these Stalkers, but the Stalkers on the back have that blink, and they do blink in. Immortal's about to be ready. Another Banshee showing up. The Stalker count is super low, and the Marines are kind of good here. But again, there's going to be an Immortal, but then the Banshee could fight the Immortal. That'd be great, actually. Marines still pushing Stalkers back. Extra Stalkers warped in to deal for the Banshee. I just feel like, imagine there was a GG's call.